Hello, and welcome to Famicast 142, your Famicast for the latter part of January 2019. I'm your host, Danny Bivens, and today we're joined by James Charlton.
It's on like Donkey Kong 64. It's in the news.
Holy shit, it is.
It's in the news, so I thought I'd just honor the news by wearing a Donkey Kong 64 t-shirt. You're welcome, everyone.
Well, I thought I'd honor it by actually buying Donkey Kong 64, and I did.
What, this week?
Yeah, actually, literally this week, I bought it.
Next.
It's right here.
You fucked up, Danny.
Oh man, looking James has been one-upped here.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, I have the Super
one down,
Nintendo
more like.
Donkey Kong trilogy just sitting next to me as well, as one does. And we're also joined today by Ty Sugar.
It's your boy, Tarantula Dick.
That's what I was about to say. Welcome, TD. Also joined by Cyrus Delaney.
That's me. Today I'm sponsored by Polish lozenges, which we've been discussing before the show.
Yes, they taste just like sausages, and they
Yes.
fix your cold and cough, so get on that.
Thank you,
Take
Poland.
with 1 cup of vodka.
It's already started. It's okay. Well, as always, we've got another exciting show for you guys today. We've got a lot of games that we've been playing, a little bit of news too, and a little bit of life in Japan as well. So look forward to that. And yeah, but let's just go ahead and get right into it with some new business. And Cyrus, would you mind kicking things off for us today?
Yeah. So my first bit of business is I finally finished Smash Bros. Story mode.
Okay.
So
Yay,
That's
congratulations.
yeah, it took
That's a
like
hell of a
42
feat.
hours on hard mode, but my God.
On
That-
hard mode as well. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was tempted in the last section to dial it down a bit, but I went through it. The last bosses in that game do not play.
Holy shit.
So yeah, I won't say anything because that would be mean. But the end of that game is fantastic. It's so good. So play it. Get all those spirits. There's so many of them.
I've been playing a bit of that as myself, and I've been pleasantly surprised by those when it takes you off the main map and it takes you to a separate world. Without going into specifics, but like the Donkey Kong one and the Street Fighter one would just really amused me to no end. It was so
the Donkey
good.
Kong one came out of nowhere for me, and it's really simple, but it's like, oh, this is
Yeah.
great.
They absolutely nailed it. It's just wonderful. Tickled my heartstrings. It's great.
Yeah.
And the Street Fighter one is just so clever as well. Although
And
Sagat is an absolute bitch.
I think the bison fight I had in that one took me a long time.
Bison, yeah. It's like immediately after Sagat. They're
Yeah.
similar.
I will say that having played the entire thing through, I did get to a point where I was just like, okay, game, end. Please stop giving me new places to go. I was kind of dreading every time I unlocked another section of the map. It's like, please don't have one of those doors that brings me to another map.
So how do you complete the game? Like, because I know you don't have to get all whatever 1,000 spirits or whatever, right? But there is a way to see the credits, right?
Yeah, once you can just kind of you fight Galeem, the big wing guy that blows up everyone.
How do you get to him? How do you unlock that, sphere of destiny or whatever it's called?
I think you have to fight a bunch of like the bosses. So like, you fight Bowser early on in the game, and he gives you like when you beat it. I think when you beat some of the side dungeons, it destroys some of his shield. So you have to like defeat 3 of the side dungeons, and and then it unlocks Galeem, and then you can fight him.
So once all the layers of that kind of dome thing have been revealed,
yeah, then you can just
him.
go up, make your way across the map up to him, and you'll get to fight him.
Okay. I
And
just have to just look up where the bosses are.
yeah, or just complete it like a real man.
Oh, it's just like you're pulling at the threads, aren't you? It's like you said, you're just wishing that there's not going to be another part to it, and it's like, oh, there's a whole other section. I've still got loads of bits covered in the cloud still. It's like unbelievable.
But
Yeah,
that was
I'm nowhere close. I mean, I started playing a little bit, I think, around launch, and then I've only played about 10 hours of Smash.
That hasn't changed since last episode, mate.
Yeah, it hasn't.
Piranha Plant's coming out in like a couple of weeks, hopefully.
Ooh.
I know. I think I got that code put in. I should have that coming my way.
If you got the download version, you're good, right?
I thought you had to actually put in like a physical code that you get from an email, though.
Yeah, you do. It's probably in your spam folder somewhere.
I think I did it.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah.
Anyway.
You can post those into the website. By the way, you don't have to actually physically input them on the Switch. There is a part of the shop, online shop on the regular browser that you can paste codes in.
Oh, okay.
So, saves a bit of time.
Nice.
Nintendo always ahead of the game on online connectivity.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my quick wrap up. The real game I've been starting to play now is Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where I got this in the Black Friday sales or something. It was down to like half price, and finally took the dive on it. From what I gather, it's very mixed. You either hate it or love it immediately when you start the game, and I'm somewhere in the middle, I guess. I'm not sure I like it. If I hadn't spent all this money on it, I'm not sure I'd keep playing it, but I'm willing to give it a chance to see if it goes somewhere.
Oh man, sunk cost fallacy.
Yep. The one thing that because it's like physical. No, I got the digital one.
Okay, well you have to. Good luck.
Yeah, no trade-ins on this, and I got it with all the DLC and everything. So yay for me.
Wow.
No, I'm pretty sure I'll complete it. It's a very weird game though, where like it looks like, you know, standard RPG stuff. Guy's got lots of belts, spiky hair, that kind of stuff. But the it's all voice acted with like really English voices, like British.
Yeah,
right.
And not even the usual BBC voices, like the really like lowbrow Coronation Street soap opera voices. And
yeah, I checked out that link that you sent to me. I couldn't believe it, because like the initial trailer, they had a lot of Scottish voices.
yeah, I'm on Scottish land at the moment.
Okay.
So like every different area has a different accent, which is really cool. Like the voice acting is legitimately one of the main reasons I'm still playing it, because it's so interesting to hear a game this British. And
do they have an Irish country yet?
I haven't come to it yet, but the last time I played an English voice acted game was Sudeki on the original Xbox. And there was one Irish character in that, and it still haunts me to this day.
It was that good.
That's one of the words people can use to describe it.
But yeah, that you sent us a link to like all the cutscenes or something, right?
Yeah.
And I was really taken aback by how weirdly English the accents were. Like you were saying, like Coronation Street.
Yeah.
So for Americans basically listening, it's not like, you know, typical posh British ones. You know, it's like really kind of local accents, which, you know, no one outside of England would know.
Blimey.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's not even that.
So it's like,
all right, Rex, you know, how you doing, mate? You know, it's like really, really, really colloquial. Like, doesn't sound at all like
ones that sound almost Australian. They're so thick in accents. So yeah,
and that girl was like, Rex, what are you doing with your life? I can't believe you're holding that sword like that. I'm like, what? That is nothing
and it's great.
Like the character. It's weird.
Like, yeah, because she is a very typical. You can see the way she's acted, like the way the character is acted. It's supposed to be a typical cat girl Japanese cute voice, but she speaks with English slang too. It's not just like voice acted. Like she's like, oh, that's real naff, that is, and it's like, wow.
I love this conversation. I hope it never ends.
Ty's losing it over here. Yeah. If you're watching live on the video stream, by the way, we're actually streaming live game footage of the games that we're talking about, thanks to the technologies of Ty's computer.
Yeah, free XSplit. It's real fucking rocket science.
That's right.
But the other thing that, like, so it has that modern RPG problem of where it's like 20 hours of tutorials at the start of the game just to get you up to speed on how everything works. and
Ugh.
so I finally unlocked most of the combat at this point, I think.
You
And-
unlocked the combat. I like that. You
and they really do need to baby step you through this, because even with it going as slow as it's gone so far, I am holding on by my fingernails. I've been ignoring half of the people in town just because there's so many shops and so many things to keep track of that I'm just like, I'll come back to that when I know how everything else works first.
So a lot of collectibles, like different kinds of currency and things.
Yeah, there's like just like when you're leveling up your characters, you have to equip different like slots for different types of characters, and there's like every character can hold a particular type of perishable item that expires after certain hours, and there's millions of little menus like that everywhere. And the part that really bothers me, and I honestly don't know why they did this, is it's like a mobile game. A lot of the stuff where like you can scavenge for items, where you do this like little mini, like a QTE section where you look for trash at the bottom of the sea, and it randomly gives you items, and these items are basically, as far as I can tell so far, are only used for quests, where like an NPC will say, "Hey, I need 3 of these things. Can you get them for me?" So you have to find 3 of these things, but they're completely random when you get these things. So if I'm trying to complete a quest chain and a guy very early on asks for 5 of this rare item, I just did this mini game, repeated it like this QTE for about 30 minutes, just randomly collecting these things until I got those 5 items and brought them back. And he's like, "Oh, here's some gold." Like,
Job done.
And the whole game is like this, where it's just all these like, I had a list and I can't remember them now, but just like every trapping that you would have in a standard mobile game, of like where they try and pad the game out just by putting it behind random time delay unlocks, it's all over this. It's like they were making 2 different games in the office, and the 2 interns collided when they were walking down the hallway, and one guy was making a mobile game, one guy was making Xenoblade, and they got their papers mixed up, and it was a big comedic moment. And
I hate it
then
when that happens.
yeah, and so it's like a full proper packaged RPG, all the trimmings, and then just this weird layer of mobile shit just kind of draped over it.
Danny, was Xenoblade Chronicles X like that?
There were some parts where, yeah, it's similar, not exactly the same, but some things that it just felt like, had to do, and it was just there just to be there to kind of pad out the amount of time, gameplay time and stuff. I hated that type of stuff, but yeah, it doesn't.
That was a slow burn, wasn't it? Like the game that advertises you can fly in a massive robot, but you don't get it till like 50 hours in.
Yeah, I mean, you get the robot, and then you're like, cool, I got the robot, and you're like, wait, I can't fly. I got to wait another 20 hours for that. Okay, great.
Right.
Oof.
Yeah, Levanidi in the chat says that they want to try Xenoblade 2, but they probably won't like it as much as Xenoblade X, which I've heard from a lot of people.
I liked X a lot. I mean, yeah, it's not a perfect game, but it's pretty fun. But I mean, for me, man, because I was thinking too that I kind of do want to try Xenoblade 2, but I think where it seems like the best place to start, if I'm a person in that type of boat, is maybe going with Torna, that the standalone DLC thing, because it's shorter, and then it's cheaper too. And then you can just see, it's like, okay, if I like this, then maybe I'll be willing to go in and drop the money and time on the full game. I don't know. Does that seem like a fair assessment, Si?
I'm not sure, because I've deliberately not looked at much on Torna, because I'll get to it eventually. But I feel that Torna might just be Xenoblade 2 with like you said, it's condensed down. It's a short little package, and they've trimmed out a lot of the tutorial stuff, which you do kind of need. The combat is pretty complicated in this game.
Okay.
Can you jump into Torna anytime? It's like, is it a separate app?
You can. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, progress doesn't carry over from the main game because it's a prequel, so you can just like boot it up from the main menu anytime, I think.
Oh. But apparently, the combat is like, they kind of fixed the combat, quote unquote, fixed the combat for Torna. So like, it's maybe what Danny said might not work, because you might like play Torna, but then if you played Xenoblade Chronicles 2 after Torna, you might not like it as much. You'd be like, oh, the combat's actually not as good.
Yeah, one thing that I will say about Xenoblade 2 as well, because I got it with all the DLC, and the DLC is kind of clever in that the game like inspires. Oh yeah, the other thing I'll complain about is the RNG stuff, but it it kind of wants you to play a new game plus after you've finished it. To the point that a lot of like the weapons and characters aren't unlocked until you do a new game plus, which I don't really like. But
in a 100-hour RPG, wow.
They want you to play multiple times, and so the DLC, as it came out like an expansion pack to release every few months, and they added some stuff in. But the DLC, it doesn't just tag stuff onto the end of the game. It unlocks periodically throughout the game as you hit certain chapters. So it means you don't, if you buy the DLC, you don't get a bunch of broken, overpowered items. It's all like designed to be released into the game at certain times, which is pretty cool. And it allows you to get like kind of a fresh replay if you want to. You get new stuff the next time you play if you did pick this up at launch. So it's kind of, DLC-wise, I think this is some of the best implemented DLC I've seen in a game in a while. It's kind of nice.
Reckon you can finish it in time for Fami's 2019?
It'll be tough. I think I don't know how many. I'm probably like 10 hours in already, and I'm barely left the first island. Yeah, 10 hours or more it says. So.
Wow.
Oh no, that was a late 2017 release, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
I remember we talked about it as that, we didn't talk about it because it released too late award.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we'll see. Yeah, but that's me. Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm up in the air about it.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'll go ahead and go next. And first, I'll talk a little bit about some snowboarding. So, I mean, all of us here are 1080 fans, right? Maybe?
Right.
Absolutely.
100%.
I saw a video of 1080 a couple of times.
Same thing. He's diehard. But, I mean, for me, it's like nothing really gets better with snowboarding than 1080. I mean, that's kind of where I've been. I've never really given too many other snowboarding games a chance. And yeah, this is kind of the first one I was like, okay, first of all, this game's like $10 or like 1,000 yen or whatever. Put in your equivalent of the currency from wherever you're at. And I mean, it looks quite nice. The visuals are great. Gameplay is kind of simplistic and stuff. I mean, I go through this in a lot of detail in my video review, and you can see, if you're watching the video version of this, you can see some clips from that right now. But I mean, I think some of the things that I really wanted to say in the review that I didn't get to say is that I don't know, sometimes the controls here can be a little bit finicky, like when you're doing your spins, which can be a little bit annoying. And one thing I did mention in the review, but I just like to reiterate again, is that like the game has you trying to do some quote unquote missions. And this just means basically you're trying to do specific tricks on like a specific map. And like, let's say you're going for like a 540 and you accidentally do a 720, it doesn't count. You have to like do it again. That's kind of
you're too
annoying. Good. Yeah, basically it's like you tilted just a little bit too much. And yeah.
Can you actually wipe out in this game? We're watching the video footage now, and it's like you're smashing into trees and you just gotta keep going. In 1080, you'd be dead by now.
I know. It's really weird because you got to kind of try really hard to kind of wipe out. It doesn't happen very often. I mean, I looked like I was gonna like land on my head. I don't remember if it's in this video or not, but and then somehow he landed it. I mean, there's different like levels of like how you could land a trick. Like if you want to do it, if you stomp the trick, as they say, then you get like basically double the points, which is nice. But if you just do a regular landing, you just get, just the standard amount of points and stuff. So it really kind of behooves you to try to stick those landings.
Have you actually said the name of this game yet?
If I did, I think I did. It's Snowboarding The Next Phase.
The Next Phase.
Yeah.
Weird name.
Yeah.
I quite like the visuals of this game. It's like almost cel-shaded, kind of.
It is cel-shaded. The levels themselves are kind of like, it looks cel-shaded, but at the same time, I don't know, it's kind of like chunky polygonal items and stuff on the stages.
Where are these melons that you're grabbing?
Melons? Oh, yes, they're right there.
Keep flashing up, melon grab.
Right. Yeah. But, honestly, I mean, for like a game that's just $10, I mean, I actually had quite a bit of fun with this. I think I played it for about 10 hours. It can get a little bit repetitive because I unlocked every single stage, and then I was like, okay, I did that. I think I'm done. So,
That'll be a top 5 game of this year.
maybe. Basically $1 per hour. Hey, it's not that bad. But I kind of want to move on to another game that I did play, though, and that would be Starlink Battle for Atlas on the Switch. As a lot of you guys know, there were tons and tons of sales out there over the holidays, so I went in and I got this game for, I think, $30, and I figured, hey, what the heck, why not? Because it's not released here in Japan yet, and we'll talk a little bit about that more.
So
later
you got
on.
this download, physical? What?
A download.
US download.
Yep, from the North American eShop.
Okay.
So, and I mean, we're kind of watching a little bit of a trailer right now if you're watching the video version. And I remember whenever, Fox and the guys were unveiled, it was just like, okay, this is a perfect fit for these guys. And it seems like Ubisoft's been kind of knocking it out of the park. Well, okay, they kind of knocked it out of the park with Rabbids, Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah.
But
apparently that game was good, and it should not have been good, but it was good.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll say too, from just playing maybe an hour or two of Starlink, it's just Ubisoft just doing some really kick-ass stuff with Nintendo IP mixed in kind of with their own stuff, and it feels good. And it kind of pisses me off whenever you hear like Nintendo make comments saying stuff like, "Well, we don't know what we want to do with this series, so we're just not going to do anything at all."
Right? Yeah.
Told.
Yeah, and then like you have another developer who's like, why don't we just do something like this? It works just fine. The controls, it was kind of a little bit weird at first because you're using like the right stick to kind of move around, and then you use like the right stick to move around and the left stick to kind of like propel yourself forward and stuff like that. So it's a little bit kind of weird at first for me because you think it's Star Fox game, you just have the one stick that controls everything, right?
Right.
But you get kind of used to it, and I'm still kind of in the process of getting used to all the power-ups and guns and stuff like that.
You can like grab stuff and like pull stuff as well, can't you?
You can, yeah, you can.
What version of the game did you get? Because there was like a couple of digital versions.
Yeah, I just got like the standard base one. So I mean, it comes with the the R-Wing, all the Star Fox stuff, and maybe a couple other bullshit that I don't even know what it is. But
all Cyrus cares about is the little action figures.
Yeah, no toys because it was on a sale. So,
but you might be able to get the figures in Japan soon, right?
I can, yes, and like I said, we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. That is a thing that's going to be coming here. But yeah, I'm going to continue playing through this. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, just the feeling of when you're leaving a planet in the spaceship and just going through the atmosphere or vice versa. It's awesome. Remind me a lot of No Man's Sky. And that's a game I really dug even before they had all the patches and stuff. So it's just kind of cool just to see almost kind of like an evolution of what Star Fox could be. And because Nintendo's not doing it, another company's doing it. And I'd like to see them kind of evolve this even more with like just a Star Fox only type of game. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So
cool.
Yep.
Definitely looks interesting. I am actually interested in that game.
Yeah. Well,
I very narrowly avoided buying it when it launched just because it was like €20 more expensive on the European store than everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been on sale now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's often on sale and stuff like that. So
I will get it at some point, definitely.
And there's a lot of Star Fox content. Like it's not just like a little. They have just dabbled in it. It's got proper full missions in it, right? Full story to it.
It's basically, as far as what I played at least, it's fully integrated into like the overarching story, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
so
that's not what I expected at all.
Yeah,
I thought it'd be like a couple of missions with Fox and that's it, done.
No. I mean, it's totally integrated with the main characters and all of that type of stuff. I mean, sometimes you can tell in some part of it. Well, actually, you know what? That's just in the early game when. Okay, it's integrated really well. I'll just leave it at that without spoiling anything.
And Star Wolf's in it.
I haven't seen him yet, but he's he's been talked about, and I'm pretty sure he's in there too. So
Yeah. Nice.
Cool. Well, that's pretty much it for me. Ty, how about you, dude?
Oh yeah, I've played some fucking video games. Holy
Really?
shit. Yeah, so I mostly just played the same stuff was playing like last podcast, like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, just Quake Champions and Sims 4 for some reason.
Sims 4? Is that like PS2 level? No?
No, it's Xbox One, PS4, not on Nintendo for some reason.
Okay, so I must be thinking of like Sims 2 or something.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Well deduced, Sherlock.
Yeah, so I was just grinding on those, but so I could have something to talk about. I played a little more Celeste.
Yo.
Yeah, let me just slap a video up here. It's the trailer. It's not my amazing speed run of the entire game.
Indie game of the year,
Uh-huh.
right? Wasn't it? I think it was.
Somebody probably said it was. You know, if I made an indie game, I would say it's indie game of the year.
There you go.
Like, no matter how bad it was. So, I mean, who are you to decide?
Right.
So, this came out on, Xbox Games with Gold, so basically free for me.
Mhm.
And so when I played it last time and talked about it, I had just played with the standard controller. And this time I was playing with an arcade stick.
Oh God, I thought you were gonna say that, and
What the
you did.
I'm playing with a large submarine sandwich with motion sensors on it.
Same.
Yeah, so I mean, for pure 2D games, I'm like extremely OG, like pre-NES OG, where I think a stick is simply the best kind of controller for like any game that requires any amount of precision whatsoever.
Mhm.
And it feels good. I mean, like I played through like I 100% as Super Meat Boy on an arcade stick.
Oh boy.
Yeah, actually, this exact stick right here.
We don't have your video on at the moment, Ty. We're watching Celeste's footage.
Yeah, you guys don't need to see
Yeah.
the trailer again. All right, here we go. I used this stick right here. This is one of the old Street Fighter TE sticks. No, not
Still
TE.
one of the best sticks you can get.
No, it's the SE. I'm sorry. Because you could not get a TE when Street Fighter 4 came out because they were all sold out everywhere. And so I've had this stick for like 10 years. 10-year anniversary of me owning this fucking stick.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And changing the parts so many times. So the only original part is like the outer casing, really.
Do we have to buy you a present for the anniversary, or?
Yeah, give me some new buttons.
Okay.
When I went to like a video game meetup there a while back too, and they were playing Towerfall on one of the machines, which is made by the Celeste guys.
Yeah.
And they only had a few PS3 controllers or PS4 controllers, so I just plugged in my arcade stick to play too. And it was kind of funny and sad that everyone around me was like, "Whoa, you can play other games with that stick?"
Yeah, it's fucked up because like if I play like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, or like any emulated game, I use the fucking stick, right? No, like even when like Super Nintendo was the system to own, like I used a stick. So, yeah.
Super NES Advantage.
No, it was.
I used a stick while wearing the Power Glove.
It's so bad.
Some fucking random accessory company made it. I want to say GT Interactive or something.
Mattel.
Not Mattel. But yeah, I do. I'm pretty sure it was, or something else. It was. The name of the stick was like Quick Shot Pro or something. If you Google it, you can find it. I'm pretty sure. Just this great thing with big red buttons and these weird little blue buttons for L and R.
There is an episode of the Famicast with audio clips of the Wizard added into it, and he says like, "I love the Power Glove so much. It's so bad."
Oh wow, did I do that?
Probably was me. But
Yeah,
he was using bad to mean good.
Yeah.
Right. Right?
Never heard of that.
Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he knew.
Yeah, maybe he
Right.
did.
Then he put on his sunglasses and like did a kickflip into a trapper keeper.
But I just love how that phrase has remained accurate throughout the decades, but it's like changed its meaning but remained accurate. You don't need to change the words.
No.
All right, so yeah, earlier this evening I just played through the second chapter Celeste with my other arcade stick, the one like I totally gutted and put back together with a fucking PCB I got out of a back alley.
Nice.
Yeah. It works on Switch, works on
a cereal box. It's a cereal box with buttons on.
Right. Maybe you saw my tweet a couple of weeks ago as a retweet. It says like, you know, every mid to late 30s fighting game player has a box like this in their house, and it's just this box of parts and buttons with like button holes cut out in like the shape of a stick with like just all these loose wires and shit in it, and like I absolutely do. Like I have so many like little bags of buttons and sticks and parts. Like, look at this shit. Where did I get these buttons? I don't know.
Ty's house is like one of those back alleys in Akihabara.
Yeah, pretty much like just like PCBs and shit like hanging out. Yeah, so
thoughts on Celeste?
With an arcade stick or you're a pussy.
Well,
do you like Celeste, Ty? You haven't actually mentioned the game yet.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a good game. I enjoy it. I'm having fun. But, you know, I haven't played it for 1,000 hours yet, so I'm not really sure how I feel. But, you know, it might be a good time for some fatherly advice from a grizzled old video game player. If you want to get used to playing on a stick, like fighting games or anything, mostly fighting games, because, like, come on, let's be real. I would recommend like just playing like your favorite Super Nintendo games or whatever on a stick. Just like play normally, and you'll get used to it. And
that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, and no pressure situation. Yeah,
Donkey Kong Country with a fight stick. Why the hell not?
That's exactly what I'm thinking, right?
Donkey Kong 64 with the fight.
That's analog. Come on.
No, it'll work. It'll be fine. Same
Donkey
thing.
Kong 64 with 2 fight sticks.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
still.
How about don't play Donkey Kong 64 at all?
Boys.
Yeah, actually, the Xbox 360 PCB in this first stick I showed you, it does actually work with analog stick games. It does some weird stuff sometimes, but yeah, it works. I don't know why you would ever want to use it for anything, but it works. Yeah, so everyone should own a fight stick, just saying. Celeste is cool and good.
Cool.
And that about does it for me.
Okie doke. Well, James, how about you go ahead and finish off new business for us?
Yeah, already talked a bit about Smash with Cyrus. The only thing I can add onto that is that I've got all the achievements on the classic mode. I've done all the classic mode achievements. I haven't completed it with everyone. I still got like about maybe 10 characters left. But yeah, all the achievements are done and good times. So now I guess I got to move on to World of Light. That's Trek to Mordor, right, Cyrus?
Yep. It's a long one. It'll take the 3 years it took them.
Yep. I guess the only other game I can really talk about is Doom, because I'm still trying to finish that game. I want to finish it before the end of January. I want to get the year started off well. Oh, watching Cyrus's video review of Doom right now. But yeah, the last time I talked about it, I was kind of I was kind of stuck on the Cyber Demon. I didn't realize that there are actually 2 very different stages to the Cyber Demon fight. The first stage is incredibly easy, and I was like, "Oh, job done." And then you get transported through a portal, and then you fight him again. You gets resurrected, and you find him again. It's like much harder. And I was like it just health wasn't going down. I was like shooting with everything I had. I had a decent amount of ammo for everything, like rocket launchers and stuff. But I was getting his health down to like 50% down, and then maybe the best I ever did was like he had like a quarter of his health left. I was like, what am I doing wrong here? It's like this feels like much harder than it should be. And then because the weird thing is like I had the BFG, but like I used it maybe like once when I first got it just to try it out, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll use it when I need it, you know, maybe at a boss. But it didn't really come into my mind because like when you hit the weapon, you hold down R to bring up your weapons wheel. The BFG is not on the weapons wheel.
Yeah.
And so I just thought like, oh, I guess I just don't have any ammo for it, so it's not showing up. But then by accident, I pressed the X button on the Pro controller, and then my BFG came up. I was like, oh shit, I had the BFG all along.
Yeah, there's actually a little thing on your normal heads-up display that shows your ammo for it.
Yeah, it's
like the chainsaw. It's just one of those extra.
Yeah. I knew how to bring the chainsaw. Chainsaw's Y. But for some reason, I just ignored pressing the X button. But yeah, I pressed the X button. Oh, I got BFG with 3 shots, so I hit him 3 times and then killed him.
Yeah, there's actually there's a few spots throughout the game where I'm pretty sure it's set up so you're supposed to use the BFG there. Like,
you probably can do it without using the BFG. I mean, I almost got there, but it was just so much easier with the BFG.
Right.
I can't remember if I used it on him or not. I don't think I did.
I'm sure I never did. It never occurred to me because I just shot him until he died.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
As per the infamous pro tip.
If you shoot him until he dies. But if you remember, I'm also like I don't have any kind of like any runes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
You know? So,
you've been skipping those.
So I'm very very minimal. Like, you know, my upgrades and, you know, runes and everything are like super like basic. So I'm probably like a little bit underpowered for where I should be. And then not using the BFG was not helping in that fight. But anyway, I've since got a couple of runes and what does it do? Something that, I don't know, gives you more like ammo back when you kill people and stuff like that.
Right.
And so that's definitely helping. And I've upgraded, you know, my suit or my guy quite a lot, you know. Found a lot of those, you know, chips that let you upgrade your guy and stuff like that. But anyway,
you can go back and play the old stages and like not disrupt your progress.
Yeah, that's cool.
If you're looking to pick those up.
Yeah, well, you can just select the rooms just from the menu, can't you, before going in? So super easy. So yeah, I've got past the time between fight, and then I'm now on another boss now, like kind of a shielded boss. It's like surrounded by a big green, like spherical shield kind of guy.
Like the rock guy? Yeah.
That's really great character design in this game. Really impressed.
Spoiler alert.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I shouldn't spoil it for you. But
no, it's like no. I'm enjoying it. I'm not stuck or anything. I'm not asking for help. I'm just saying that's where I am.
All right. Well, it's not, that boss is not one guy.
Okay.
I'll just leave it at that.
But
you barely scratched the surface, so to speak.
Nice. But I'm just continually impressed by, you know, the character design and the level design, and I just want to, you know, give it big ups where it needs it, you know.
Big up yourself.
So, yeah. Looking forward to play more, because I've got another game that I downloaded over Christmas, and I'm looking forward to getting to that after I've finished Doom. But I'm not going to start that game until I've finished Doom. So I'll talk.
Remember from the last episode, Doom is required playing.
Yeah,
by law.
I'm working on it, kind of. I haven't played it for like a month, or more.
The video game police are going to come and arrest you if you don't beat it by February.
I'm gone, guys. It's my last podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I think I'm probably going to beat Doom before Cyrus beats Xenoblade 2. So
I hope so.
There's a good chance people will beat a lot of games before that happens.
Right, every game on the system before Cyrus gets to the DLC. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about today. So hopefully I can talk about a new game next episode. That's the aim, anyway.
Cool. Alrighty. Well,
sorry.
Bless you.
Next, fast enough on the mute button.
It's okay. Next, let's talk about now playing at thefamicast.com. Now playing at Famicast.com. Of course, we have all sorts of stuff going up on our website, up on our YouTube, and all over the place. So we're going to tell you a little bit about that just in case you're out of the loop. So one thing that just came up here just in the past couple of days, one of our, what would you say, James? Not intern, guest contributors.
There you go.
Michael, he wrote a review for a game called Detective Gallo, or is it Gallo?
Yes.
Which is kind of like an old school point and click adventure type of a game. If you're into that type of game, cool. Definitely check out this review before it is plopping down some cash. Michael's got some interesting things to say about it, so you want to check
Michael
that
said
out.
he was a fan of Day of the Tentacle, so that's why he took that review.
Okay.
Find out if he was satisfied.
Right. Right, James, what else do we got?
Yeah, I got a few more videos added to our Smash Brothers playlist. Basically, the video series where kind of showing all the different game series represented in Smash. So I've got an F-Zero one that's gone up, Bayonetta one, and Mega Man one. So yeah, check them out. Almost there. We've got about, I don't know, maybe 8 game series left. There are an incredible amount of game series represented in Smash.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like a lot. It's like, I don't know, 30 or something like that. It's ridiculous. So yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do a website page dedicated to that, so people can check that out when it's all done. And what else we got?
Well, we got a couple more Famicom Online videos are going to be going live this Friday, whatever the hell day that is, January 25th, I think. So maybe by the time you're listening to this, if you're not listening to us live, that you'll be able to click on over to our YouTube channel and see some more of me and James playing some old school games that you all know and love. And we're totally kicking ass.
Excite Bike, that went live recently, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And a couple of other ones, all great, amazing games.
So good.
We've got to get the most of them done before. Well, we'll talk about it in news.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All this and more at Famicast.com. Well, now it's the time of the show where, James, you have to say what's coming up next.
It's day.
That's right.
Jabanu tab. Jabanu.
That's right. It's the Japanese. That's a shortened version of Japanese Nintendo news.
That's right.
For those of you keeping
Epic
track of
Japanese news of history.
That's right. So, oh man, I did. Who put this first put in here? Because I saw some of this stuff on Twitter, and I thought this was pretty hilarious. So,
oh yeah, let's move into it. Sakurai. So, a friend of the show, Push Dustin. He runs the All Source Gaming website.
Mm-hmm.
Great guy. I met him at Bit Summit last year. He translated a whole bunch of quotes from Sakurai about Smash. I guess he was. What is it? What was it in a magazine? Was it in Famitsu? I can't remember.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something where I don't know. I just saw some old stuff from Sakurai where he's like telling some, like, I don't know, people like other kind of big publications like, you fucking suck. Like Sakurai's like saying stuff like that.
Well, seriously?
Yes.
Okay, no, I didn't get that one.
Actual news quotes.
Okay, sorry. That's why I was kind of excited at first. Don't mind me.
Nope, we're not doing that one that Danny's possibly made up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So this is basically from an interview Sakurai did, and I can't remember, again, apologies where this was from either, but he just kind of talked to like a few little tidbits about Smash development. And so they talked about how Incineroar was almost not in the game and was going to be Decidueye, who's like the grass owl starter from the same game.
Is he in Pokken?
He's in Pokken Tournament, so
Okay,
yeah, he's already playable in that game.
Right, because we're looking at like a GIF of him now, and it looks like he's already been in 3D. So.
He definitely feels like a more obvious choice for Smash, because he's just like, he'd have a bunch of the same attacks, bow and arrows and whatever. But I'm really happy that Incineroar got in. I don't like Incineroar at all, but he's such a weird character. It's like, yeah, give me a wrestler in Smash. That's cool.
with his suicide up B.
Oh yeah, I kill myself more than any other person with that move.
That's right.
Even
go more
DDD
than
does not
that,
kill himself as much as fucking Sunderor does.
DDD, yeah. Well, you can fly.
Yeah, I know. Still kills myself though. So other stuff was this kind of minor, but Zelda, the new version of Zelda in the game. She's supposed to be based on Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds.
Huh.
I don't know why that's important, but okay.
Isn't that basically the same thing though?
Yeah, they were the same character, weren't they?
Well, no,
Well, I
because
mean,
A Link Between Worlds is literally called A Link to the Past
Zelda
2 in Japan.
2. Yeah, it's like it's the same set of Links and Zeldas. They're not reincarnations.
Right.
It also said that Xenoblade 2 and ARMS characters just had bad timing, so that's why they couldn't have any of them in the game.
Even though ARMS characters are trophies. Not
yeah,
trophies.
but
What do you call them? Assist trophies.
It's so much easier to put an assist in. And I'm still kind of thinking there's going to be an ARMS DLC character at some point.
To Intel.
And just to go back to the Zelda thing really quick, yeah, absolutely. You can take a look. Well, if you can read Japanese title, Kamigami no Triforce 2. Boom.
Danny's holding up a box that hasn't opened yet.
No. I
Put it
used
back on the shelf.
No, looks great on the shelf now. It felt good when I actually used it too.
Covered in dust.
In
honor of Precious Dustin, right?
That's right.
Some stuff is that the Belmont characters from Castlevania, Ridley, and King K. Rool were all added because of the Smash ballot they did before of like characters people want to see in the game.
Makes sense. King K. Rool was like a Mii character costume in Smash 4.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
I remember that.
Who else? I don't think Ridley was a stage hazard, I guess. No Castlevania stuff has ever been in Smash until Ultimate, right?
Right. You had to go to DMTV World Fighters for the Castlevania stuff.
So another minor one is that King K. Rool's concept was to be really heavy, but to do stuff that heavy characters normally can't do. So that's why he's got that really big fly attack and he's, whatever, counters and things, I guess.
And shit tons of projectiles.
Oh, yeah. He's got amazing projectiles, amazing air recovery. That's all weird, heavy character stuff.
Throw shit until they die.
So the final juicy bit was the Piranha Plant was decided because it's a character that is not a hero. So Sakurai and the team felt that if all the characters were heroes, it would be a bit boring. Also, the Piranha Plant is well known.
And I will say that when I first saw this, for whatever reason, I was thinking about Kamiya, not Sakurai. Which is that might make more sense whenever you said like, oh, he basically called somebody a freaking idiot, on Twitter. It's like,
that's more like a cameo, friend of the show.
Don't mind me.
Cameo Sakurai, same thing, isn't it?
This last comment about Piranha Plant, like that he's not a hero. This is actually like I've heard a lot of people really hate the Piranha Plant as a character because he's not a main character. He's just a random NPC. Yeah. And I actually really like that. I really like that he's just. I obviously I don't want like the next set of characters to be Goomba and Paratrooper and whatever, but like,
right? Jesus Christ!
The fact that Piranha Plant is the only nothing character makes it special. So I'm kind of cool with just Piranha Plant being there.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to stick with my theory that it was just used for testing purposes internally, and then somebody just said, if I could just make it a character.
With Sakurai, very likely.
Yep.
It was. That's everything.
I mean, it could easily be the sandbag. I mean, why not make the sandbag a playable character?
Right.
He's been in Smash Bros. The game longer than the fucking Piranha Plant. Right.
Yeah, he's been in more games than most of the cast.
Right.
Exactly.
Was he in the first 64?
I don't know. I've barely played Smash 64.
Definitely Melee.
Sandbag game in 64.
They took all of those home run contests and shit out of Smash Ultimate. Never really.
It's a shame. I hope they come back. Like that'd be a free bit of press. Is like home run contest now in the game.
That's the thing. I don't really miss them though. It's kind of like.
I don't really miss them, but they're a fairly trivial thing to add in home run contest.
Yeah.
Right. Were they in Smash 4? I can't
Yeah.
remember. Yeah, they were in Smash 4. Okay. I remember one of them you could play online and stuff together. Badly, but you could do it.
Great.
But yeah, I think that's all on the Smash front.
Okay. Well, moving on to a little bit more of Starlink news, like I was talking about a little bit earlier, Starlink actually has a release date for Japan, and that is April 25th. It's coming to Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. I'm pretty sure I should have double-checked my facts. Don't have like a retail price for the game. They're going to have the digital version as well as like, you know, the packs and all that stuff. I've seen some artwork and all that. And if you head on over to Japanese Nintendo, you can see some of these pictures as well.
Wait, it's coming on to Xbox One in Japan? You sure about that?
If it is, it's going to be digital. I mean, who knows?
Right.
But at any rate, like, yes, I mean, obviously this is a hell of a lot further out than what it was in the West. But I think maybe personally, I think one of the reasons why they did that is because Ubisoft had like a pretty big freaking game on the Switch at the same time, around the same time here, and that being Assassin's Creed Odyssey cloud version. So maybe that was one of the reasons why they didn't release it here at the same time. I don't know. But you'll occasionally see stuff like this, just kind of releases shuffled around and stuff like that. So,
yeah. And it hasn't changed the name. It's got the same name, just in katakana, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. But, you know, Star Fox is not that popular in Japan. So, you know, people just don't care about it as much as the West. I mean, look at all the YouTube reactions to Star Fox in Starlink. It's like people going mental.
Yeah, James sent a great video where somebody put together, I don't know, like 20 people and synced it up with the video. Oh man,
people
that was
losing their shit. Like there's people like, crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the Fox character starts to be teased and like, oh no way. It's pretty good.
One guy just stands up. He's like, "Holy fuck!" Just like totally losing it.
I love that whole stage presentation because that's when they invite Miyamoto onto the stage, and then Yves Guillemot is talking to him in very French English, and Miyamoto's just kind of looking at him blankly, just kind of nodding his head. It's like, I'm understanding everything you're saying.
Yeah.
Even though Yves Guillemot is speaking English, you know, you can't understand the fucking word he's saying because it's such a strong French accent.
Yeah.
Miyamoto, we love you in the French. He's like, yes, I like.
On the note of this game, like getting the release in Japan, like it's a little known fact, but I really like Toys to Life games.
Really?
And I'm really interested in how Ubisoft have been handling this game. So, like, you can buy the physical thing and it comes with toys and stuff, but it looks like they only made like one shipment of all the toys. And so they like it was 70 or 80 euro at launch, and now a few months later it's down to like 20 euro for the starter set in the game stores here in Galway. And so it's almost like they just threw them out, get one splash with the toys, and they're like, we're not making any more DLC, we're not making any more toys for this. It's a once it's released, it's done.
Could be, but you know, they have been supporting it because since buying the game, I had this whole slew of news on the Switch talking about how, not like anything huge, but just a bunch of like little kind of quality of life updates and stuff have come to the game.
Yeah, and it's all digital, and then you can buy the full game digital with no toys, and it has everything in it. You never need to buy a toy for it. So it's like they're trying to get both parts. They want to sell a bunch of plastic toys for like a huge markup, and then they'll have their permanent on sale digital thing.
I'm going to hazard a guess that the physical toys are only going to be sold in Toys R Us here in Japan.
That's what Skylanders was here, right, Si?
Yeah, and Disney Infinity, they all only had the one store.
God.
So, I actually think it's a pretty clever way they're going with this. It's like an evolution of the Toys to Life thing. So,
and unlike the West, they never reduced the price. They just one day they're just not there anymore. It's like, nope, they're gone. Full price until they've written them off the shelves.
Right.
Welcome to Japan.
Well, moving on here, something that came up right after we recorded the last episode. So Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2, as well as Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age, on the Switch have official release dates here in Japan, April 11th and April 25th, respectively. Both titles are going to be available as both digital and physical copies. Final Fantasy X and X-2 is going to retail for about 6,000 yen digitally and then about 6,800 physically. Whereas Final Fantasy XII is going to go for about 5,800 for either version. So you can kind of pick your poison there.
Just to confirm, X and X2, they're totally different games.
Yes.
X2 is a sequel to X or whatever.
10 and 10-2.
10 and 10-2. That's like sequels or whatever, side stories or something like that.
They are a sequel. It's a totally different game.
Yeah.
And then, but like similar characters, similar art style.
Well, they take some of the same characters and stuff, and similar art style. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's kind of like Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Where it's like they had a lot of the assets, they kept a lot of the assets for a sequel, but it's a very different game.
Yeah.
But they didn't call it 11 because that's the online game, right?
Yeah. They don't do that. With you have the same characters in a Final Fantasy game. That's not going to make it like you know what I mean? It's
That's why they got 13, 13-2, 13-3.
Yeah, 13-3 Lightning Returns or whatever.
Exactly.
Right. But 12 is a completely different game, different characters, different world, all that kind of stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. Completely different. And Si, you're kind of interested in this one?
Yeah, like Final Fantasy X is like my second favorite Final Fantasy game. I really like that game.
Okay.
And 10-2, while the game is kind of garbage and terrible, it's the fighting system in that game, I think, is possibly the best fighting system in any Final Fantasy game.
Okay.
So I tried playing it once before and I gave up for a bunch of reasons, but I do want to play 10-2 properly through at some point. So get on the Switch. That's perfect for me.
Yeah, I'm.
Will you be done with Xenoblade before April 11th?
I'm definitely not getting this on launch.
Yeah.
I got Mario Rabbids to go through too.
Oh, geez, same as me, man. I'm kind of interested in 12 because I bought it on the PS2 when it first came out. I think like Steelbook Edition or something like that, and I played for like 2 or 3 hours and stopped for who knows why. Yeah, but with this version, it's a kind of like a port of what they did on PS4 and like all that stuff, so that you can like speed up on-field movement and battles and stuff like that. So it's kind of like along the same lines like Bravely Default, where they have a lot of stuff that makes the game kind of like easier to play. You don't have to waste as much time just walking around the map or something like that. I don't know. Seems interesting to me.
Yeah, and 12 has always been a game that I vaguely want to play because it's the first time they tried something really new with Final Fantasy. So I'm like, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on this one.
What's new about it?
It doesn't really have turn-based combat. Like, you don't go into a new fighting screen where you pick menus and fight. Like, it's actually kind of like Xenoblade Chronicles fighting style, where you're all on the field of battle together, and there's like you kind of declare targets, and your characters start throwing attacks at them. Yeah,
it was quite a nice change. I remember liking it a lot. Just that aspect of it, just kind of being fresh,
Also, a lot of the characters have beards. Very rare in Japanese games.
Yeah, that is also kind of weird too, right?
They're not evil?
Not evil. Good guys with beards. Revolutionary.
Next, he'll be a good guy with a tattoo. Imagine that.
No, that's a ball-faced lie.
Crazy talk.
Ty, do you want to read this next little bit of news that we got here?
Oh, yeah. Dragon's Dogma, boys. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is coming to Switch on April 25th for 3,990 space bucks. So 23rd in North America. All major languages will be supported.
Yep. So that's another one of the things that kind of came out right after our last episode. So just kind of playing a little bit of catch up on that stuff. Ty, have you played this game or any?
I played the first one very briefly on my insane Xbox blitzkrieg of putting like 900 games in my achievements.
Nice.
I did enjoy what I played.
Okay.
So I'm actually looking forward to coming back to that game sooner or later.
Cool.
What kind of game is it?
I would say it's
kind of Monster Hunter-y, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of Monster Hunter. You have like a team of guys, but it's not like open spaces. It kind of looks like Dark Souls. It's not like brutally hard. So yeah, just kind of a co-op dungeon action game.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if it's even co-op. It just feels co-op.
Yeah, I've read somewhere that the developers took a lot of inspiration from games like Skyrim and I don't know, Morrowind, Elder Scrolls games and stuff like that too.
Those games have the worst combat though.
I'm just saying that's what I've read.
Maybe like visually, sure, but
I may have said it on the show before, but the only experience I have with Dragon's Dogma is I downloaded the demo when I was in college on the Xbox, and immediately the demo gave me like an Elder Scrolls style character customization where you have to build everything of your character, and I just deleted the demo immediately.
Wow, harsh.
And I'm like, what? I was impressed like how pretty my character was. I made myself a waifu.
You can't just hit random and go.
I imagine you can. I don't fucking remember.
Cyrus, why didn't you do that?
If it insults me with that kind of character screen immediately, it's not worth me skipping it. It's in the trash straight away.
Well, my first impression is really positive. So take that.
Wow, we're living in opposite worlds. Cyrus being super negative and Ty being super positive.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, weird.
What year is this?
Right.
Who's the president? So should we move on to Most Wanted?
Yeah,
Fantasy's Most Wanted. We haven't done this in a while, actually.
I could make up a whole bunch of stuff about Dragon's Dogma if you like.
Next. So this list comes from Famitsu. Oh, sorry, no. Is it?
Nintendo Dream.
Oh, no, it's Nintendo Dream Most Wanted.
Yes.
So this is via Friends of the Show, Japanese Nintendo. So it's weird. We've got some smartphone games on here as well, which is weird. We've got Team Sonic Racing is number 16, most wanted game. Is anyone anticipating that game?
No, I played
I love Team Sumo. They made the previous Sonic racing games and also Disney Infinity's racing segments.
Those are good.
So they're 3 for 3 with me, and
it's better than Mario Kart.
Yeah, I legitimately think they're some of the best racing game designers is that team. So I'm really curious.
I thought the Transformed game looked really interesting, because they didn't just have Sonic and his shitty friends. They had all the other all the other Sega characters and mascots and stuff.
Wacky stuff like Samba de Amigo and House of the Dead.
I thought that was really clever, and I think Nintendo should do that for their next kart racing game. But this game is not that. This is just Sonic and his shitty friends.
That's what I'm so mad about this game.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. Like the Sonic Transformed game, you could play as the dwarf from Golden Axe and shit. It was just great. And
Right.
one is one of the things is you play as a Dreamcast controller is just the car, and it when it turns into a jet for the flying sections, it's the Space Harrier, or not the Space Harrier, it's the F-14 or whatever from one of the famous
Afterburner.
Afterburner. That's the one. And
throw away such a good idea.
Yeah, it's just so mad.
Weird. Well, yeah, Nintendo should definitely steal that idea and do a Super Smash Brothers kart style game where they do that.
I feel they will, based on the DLC with Animal Crossing and Link.
They have to, yeah. They have to.
The only way Mario Kart can really evolve at this point.
So next, number 15, we've got Mario Kart Tour, which is the iOS/Android game, which may or may not come out this year. Who knows? We might talk about it more before the end of the quarter 4, the financial quarter 4, right? I think they have to.
Yeah, probably.
I think they're contractually obliged to talk about that in some capacity before the end of March, probably. And then we've got Fushigi no Gensoku. Is that I think that's a Shiren the Wanderer game on Switch. People are anticipating that. Then we've got Sengoku Musou 4 DX. Sengoku, is that just the booby game, but Musou version?
I thought it was just the regular. That's not just Dynasty Warriors. That's maybe the
some
Japanese ones. I don't know.
Warriors, I don't know.
It's a Dynasty. It's a Warriors game.
There's another Atelier. There's another Atelier RPG, number 12. No one cares. Inazuma 11, the Switch version. It's number 11. And then we've got Yokai Watch 4, which a lot of our video YouTube subscribers really are looking forward to, /hating.
Yeah.
Half of them love it, half of them hate it.
Yeah.
Number 9, we've got Bayonetta 3. People are looking forward to that. Yeah, cool. Bokujo Monogatari, I guess that's
Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon, thank you. Yeah. Which is called, the new one's called New Work.
That might just be a temp title.
New Work!
I hope that says a temp title.
That's like the Arbaito simulator game.
Right.
I guess it's pretty close. Am I right?
Right.
Number 7 is Yoshi's Craft World, which is coming out in a couple of months.
Fucking yard game.
I'm glad that Brian kept it in there the proper way.
Right, there you go. Number 6 is Dragon Quest 11, which, as you all know, is never coming to the Switch.
Been on this most wanted list 3 years running now.
That's right, yeah. It was the first Switch game announced, and 2.5 years later, it's still not out.
The last one announced.
Well, to be fair, there actually is like some kind of an event going on Friday where they're going to be talking a lot about it.
Yeah, 3 new screenshots.
So I said they're going to talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
Number 5.
It's been cancelled.
There you go. I think it's never going to come out. Number 5 is Luigi's Mansion 3. People, 10% of the population are looking forward to that.
The entire population, yes.
These are all Switch games, by the way, so far. But we have a 3DS game at number 4, Kaito no Kirby, which is Kirby's Epic Yarn Plus. I can't believe people are anticipating 3DS games in 2019. Come on, people. Number 3, Fire Emblem Fuka Setsugetsu, which I'm assuming is 3 houses.
Yeah.
In English. The Switch game, which may or may not get released this year. I don't know about that. We'll definitely see more of it, definitely like E3 and stuff. It might come out this year. Number 2 is Pokemon Series New Work. I guess that Pokemon Gen 9, is it? Gen 8? Cyrus, help me out.
I don't know. Some Pokemon game, I guess.
The next Pokemon generation game on Switch is the second most anticipated game, but the most anticipated game by quite a margin. No, literally
no margin.
literally tied with Pokemon is Animal Crossing Double to No More on Switch. So do we all think that Pokemon New Generation and Animal Crossing are both coming out this year?
Yes.
It seems weird that both would come out.
I mean,
I think they will, but they'll space them out.
Yeah, it seemed weird that Zelda and Mario and a freaking big JRPG came out from Nintendo in 1 year, and it did, and a new IP in ARMS.
And Splatoon 2.
Jesus. I mean, think about that.
And Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, well.
In the same year.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But are they kind of the same audience, though, aren't they? Like the Pokemon audience and the Animal Crossing audience. But Animal Crossing is a more wider spread because that goes up to 20-year-old girls, 20-year-old women.
Yeah.
Well,
and kids.
My wife has been kind of preemptively apologizing to me because she's going to just steal my Switch for the next several years once Animal Crossing comes out.
Oh my God. Run.
I'll probably try and get her own Switch before that game comes out.
Good idea.
Do you think Switch Pocket Edition or Switch Lite or Switch Pro, whatever, do you think that will come out this year? And for Pokemon or something?
First, I'd like this to say, I don't think there's going to be one that's without detachable Joy-Cons. I think that would just a lot of games you couldn't even play. It just kind of defeats the purpose of the Switch in general. Right. Me.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
I don't know. But, yeah, I think they'll probably have some kind of an update. It might even be something as boring as we got some new components in there, and you don't even know any of the difference or something,
The plug is on the top now edition.
Yeah, boring like that.
Crazy talk.
Yeah, and James, just for the record, I do think that Dragon Quest is going to be released on the Switch. I don't think it's going to be this year. Probably maybe early next year or something.
Really? You think next year?
Yeah.
Wow.
They showed a trailer that was allegedly running on a Switch, so who knows?
Yeah, I think it's going to come out, but it's going to have a horrible frame rate. And
We'll
they're just going to give up and say, we couldn't make it work. That's the best you're going to get.
It's just a streaming game. They farmed it out to Ubisoft.
Hey, man, they did that with Dragon Quest X on 3DS. So,
right then, let's move on to the biggest and the hottest news that we got this episode.
Yes. So there was a rumor that came out that it's something that Nintendo's talked about for a long time about, you know, SNES games being available on the Switch. And via a Nintendo fan / modder / data miner, Cappuccino Heck on Twitter.
Easy for you to say.
Right. He uncovered a list of titles that were kind of buried in the NES Online app. The first list kind of contained, this is like on Twitter and stuff. His first list that we saw, it contained a lot of games that we would come to expect on a Super Nintendo type of a platform. You know, Link to the Past, Mario World, Super Metroid, stuff that we've played. And
it's basically the Super Nintendo mini list.
Yeah. Or even the stuff that you would see on like the Wii Virtual Console, Wii U Virtual Console, blah, blah, blah. But then like, as it kept going on, like games like Stunt Race FX and Star Fox 2 were also on there as well. And I mean, you know, this is all just a rumor. So I think when I first found out about this, I think, James, you were like,
yeah,
we're putting something up on our Patreon, asking our patrons about something, about like new logos for Super Famicom Online.
Oh, yeah.
Like, holy shit, ready. What did I miss?
I'm ready. I've already made the YouTube thumbnails for the new video series that is going to go live once this service starts.
Right.
Because we have our Famicom Online series.
Right.
But I've already made a Super Famicom Online series thumbnail, so look out for that.
Yeah.
100% confirmed by the Famicast.
Yes. But, you know, like I said, this was... Well, Super Nintendo stuff, this is something that Nintendo talked about around the time of that first, like that event that we went to, that first like unveil back in January 2017. At that time, they were kind of saying like, well, we're going to do an NES and or SNES game like one time a month, and you can play online.
Right. So, they kind of backtracked on the whole that idea, didn't they?
Yeah, and then they just said, then they said like, online's not ready. And then when it was finally ready, like
2 years later,
we said NES games. We didn't say anything about Super Nintendo. You're wrong.
Right. Well, they realized that there was a lot of hype just for NES games, so they thought, we'll just give them that for a year.
Yeah.
And then trickle that out the SNES in year 2, year 3, or whatever.
Do you think that would be like included? And I mean, yeah, Ty, obviously feel free to chime in at any point about with this stuff. But with Super Nintendo stuff, if that gets added to the service, do you think Nintendo would require some kind of extra, an extra fee to access that, or do you think they'd still try to get by with the $20 a year or something?
I doubt they're going to up that cost ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not with the amount of people that are like complaining about it. If they did try and up the cost for adding in SNES games that I didn't ask for, and they still have garbage everything else online, I'd probably cancel my subscription.
Yeah, this makes it more bearable. This is like, you know, this brings it up to around about almost being happy with it.
Yeah. Do you think this was a reaction or the plan from the start?
I'd say it was the plan from the start.
Yeah.
Maybe
they were just waiting for the right time to do it, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, again, this is still a rumor. It's kind of based on what somebody found, so none of this is like concrete or anything.
Confirmed.
Absolutely.
Right.
So
I've got the YouTube thumbnail already, mate. It's done. It's confirmed. You can't go back on that.
We absolutely can't now. Yeah.
The first game we're playing is Stunt Race FX, aka Wild Tracks, by the way.
That's right.
Which is legit one of my favorite SNES games, by the way.
Cool.
Seriously, I'm not joking. I know.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
It's a cool game.
Yeah, I can play the whole soundtrack in my head just by closing my eyes.
Me too. That soundtrack was catchy as heck.
It's so good, so good. I'm telling you, when you go through the tunnel, it actually has the correct echo of the engine when you go through the tunnel.
Yeah.
Water splashes on the windscreen on a fucking SNES game. It's crazy.
Impressive.
That's right. But
cool.
yeah,
Never heard of it.
It's got like it's got like 8 polygons for both the car and the track. But you know.
Perfect.
There were simple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, you imagine.
Probably look better than that Turtles game or the Nickelodeon kart racers.
Oh yeah, shit's all over that.
And then the box art is a picture of clay models.
Oh, so good, so good. Wasn't like Star Fox like models in Japan?
Yeah, and America.
Oh, it wasn't.
Yeah, I got
in the West too.
I got it over on the other side of the room, but yeah, it was the same. It was just like these little puppets, basically, or something.
I wonder where they are now.
Probably decomposing in a closet somewhere.
Well, they
due to
brought
the
that back,
moisture.
didn't they, for one of the recent, not recent, but whatever, a few years ago. Well, because
More
Iwata was
recent
in it.
than Stud Racing FX.
What was it, Star Fox Zero, right?
Yeah.
They brought back the puppets. Oh, there was an Iwata puppet, so that shows how long ago that was.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, definitely excited for the possibilities. I mean, all of these games make a lot more sense than NES games. NES games, 2-player, whatever. A lot of them are just, well, you can see our whole video series about it. A lot of them are just like, take turns, or, if it's simultaneous, there's so much flickering and slow down and all that kind of stuff, and that's nothing to do with the online. That's just the game is just flickery and slow.
How it did it.
Yeah.
But SNES games were legit, 2-player games, and make a lot more sense.
Oh yeah.
But it'd be very weird to have a console that you can play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe online and Super Mario Kart online on the same console.
That would be pretty kick-ass.
That's very weird, yeah. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Cool.
100% confirmed.
Yes. Well, to wrap up the news, we have a look at the best-selling games in Japan in 2018 on all formats. So,
oh right, yeah, last year's top sellers.
Yeah. So,
number 10. Oh, ties the charts, man.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I love charts. We're going from 10.
Yes, you have to scroll down a bit.
We have Breath of the Wild Switch version.
Yep.
Is this
almost 500,000.
Yeah, wow.
Wait, is this list like every system? It's not just Switch?
It's every system because there's a PS4 game on here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, Switch dominated. What the heck?
That's why it says all formats at the top, Cyrus.
Yeah, I had to confirm just because this, it was like, is that a mistake or what? Because wow.
Yeah. Well, on the other hand, this doesn't count digital sales, does it?
Probably not.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, and only crusty old dinosaurs buy games for Nintendo systems.
Or
I mean, if it did include digital downloads, Xbox would be like number one, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone downloads on Xbox,
right? Yeah. Or I've been buying a bunch of cards for people over at the convenience store because they want Japanese points for whatever, and they have Steam cards in the convenience stores.
Wow.
They have had them for like a couple of years, maybe.
Yeah.
It's just a thing I think our listeners might be interested in.
Buy your Steam cards with cash.
Yeah, and if you want to get PlayStation Japan online cards, hit me up.
Yep.
With money,
or maybe even Nintendo eShop cards, because
Oh yeah, sure, whatever.
Crazy as it sounds, there might be some Nintendo fans listening.
Yeah, just give Tyler money and tips. And tips.
Yeah, I do a side hustle selling points cards. Hit me up. Moving on. This has been a paid advertisement. Number 9 is Minecraft Switch version.
Noted Microsoft game.
Yeah, noted Microsoft game.
Yeah.
Where is it, boys?
Play as Master Chief on your Nintendo.
That's
Oh,
right.
man.
That's right.
Isn't it legit the best-selling Microsoft game in Japan is the Nintendo Switch version of Minecraft?
Yeah.
I think I read that right.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wonder if my Killer Instinct skins would carry over. Yeah, they released Killer Instinct skins for Minecraft when Killer Instinct was coming out. The only skins I paid for. It was like $2 for all of them. It was great. And then moving on, number 8, Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah,
Another 500,000 seller.
we're 500,000.
Interesting that sold more than Zelda, but I guess that makes sense, particularly in Japan.
They're not that far off. It's like 491,000 to 572,000.
Yeah.
Are these like accumulated, or this is like
Seems like
just that year?
Just for that year, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because Splatoon 2 sold like a million like last year.
And it's
2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
All right, where are we at? Number 7, Hoshino Kirby Star Allies.
Or Star Arise.
Yeah,
Right.
Sure.
That's racist.
2/3 of a million. What up?
Yep.
Here you have it, James. Kirby, more popular than Mario and Zelda.
That's it. That's right.
Not so fast. We have a core Mario game coming up.
Kawaii.
Super Mario Party at number 6.
Yep.
Thanks, Cyrus.
Hey, you could thank me too. Well, you could actually thank me because I bought it here in Japan.
Actually, no, Cyrus, you bought the European version, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so I can't blame Cyrus.
helped
Thanks,
nothing.
Danny.
You're welcome.
And that's at 750,000.
Holy sh... Oh.
Yep.
Man, all of that was like probably around New Year's time. People want like a party game to play it, like
I
New
think I
Year's
said
party.
there's a kick-ass deal on that. Basically, $100 for a set of Joy-Con and the game. It's like, why not?
Oh, it's like the Wii Play effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like shitty game, but you get free controllers.
Yeah.
Well, not free, but you know,
Wow.
reduced.
Oh yeah.
That's a bargain.
Yep.
Moving on. Just under 1 million, we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at number 5.
Yeah. Crazy that even in man, almost 1 million, and the second year that it's out, it just shows how much legs that game has.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a core game for the system, and now the system is, easier to get than it was a while ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh, don't remind me.
Right? Right?
Loser.
All right, so
10
moving
episodes of the Famicast about that story.
on. Oh yeah, it was a riveting tale.
Of my salty tears.
Yep. Number 4, Splatoon 2, 1.1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone has that game in Japan.
Yep.
All right, number 3, Pocket Monsters. Let's go, Pikachu /Eevee. 1.25 million.
Yeah.
What is that game even?
That was like quite a late release as well.
Yeah, November.
So that's
I'm
almost
still
like 2 months of sales.
All I can think of is fucking talking to Pikachu on Nintendo 64.
Oh, it's not that. It's
Hey, you Pikachu.
Oh, right, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
What was that called in Japanese?
I forgot. I don't own it. Well, I think I do, but I don't see it.
Pokemon Pikachu talking game.
Yes.
New work.
Right.
Man alive. All right, number 2, Monster Hunter World on Nintendo PS4.
Yes.
Right.
That's almost 2 million.
Yeah.
Oh, I found it. It's called Pikachu Genki Dechu.
I
Genki
really
Dechu.
love how Monster Hunter World, like, for so many years, Capcom were terrified to mess with the Monster Hunter formula at all. Like, it's like, no, this game is wildly successful for us. We're not going to change anything about it. So it was the same game for year after year.
Right.
And then they're like, okay, let's try a couple of changes, make it a bit more Western. And it's like most successful game in the series by like leagues.
Well, it took them 10 years to add a second analog stick to the 3D, and they actually made a physical adapter for the 3DS, right?
Circle Pad Pro, baby.
Took them 10 years to get that.
God.
Imagine
All right,
Good job, though. I like when a company can evolve.
number 1, any guesses?
I see it.
I have a good suggestion.
Sonic Forces.
Yeah, that's the joke answer I'm looking for. No, it's Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Total
best
number,
seller.
a lot.
Holy
Yes.
shit. That was in like 10 days or something. 2.3 million.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Shit.
Pretty good.
And I think isn't it the best selling Smash Brothers game ever or in the world?
Something like that.
Something
It
like
will
I
be.
imagine you could just pick a random record out of your ass and it'd probably beat that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, no, it's got Brawl to beat because Brawl was on Wii and there's like 10 million, like 100 billion Wiis out there, isn't there? So there was probably a lot for
Yeah,
Brawl.
the numbers on Brawl were ridiculous.
Yeah. Everyone playing with sideways Wii remotes.
Yuck.
The best way to play, right?
Only way to play.
And shake
That and
to
Tatsunoko
smash.
versus Capcom.
Didn't you have to like shake the Joy-Con to this? Not the Joy-Con. What was it called? Wii remote to smash. I think it was something stupid.
Possibly, if there was a way to fucking bullshit the waggle controls into a game,
Right.
they found it. So
Yeah.
it was a dark time.
That game was not the best Smash.
Oh, wow, that's quite delicate. Lipa to try there.
Right.
But it's sold the most.
Not the
Therefore,
best.
it's the best.
They could have done better.
Yeah, the game fucking sucks dick.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Well, that's going to do it for the news. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next little section here.
That's such a, it's a phrase you can use at any point, isn't it? You could be talking about snowboarding games. You could be talking about news. You just go, and
then when you really get into it, you go, "Da, da, da, da," and then you start going,
All right.
right, Cyrus? Your favorite game?
Sure.
What do you think, James? Feedback next, or Setsubun, or what do you want to do?
Life in Japan Mini Edition. Let's do it.
Woo!
Life in Japan Mini. All about Setsubun. The end. You guys know up now. So
Let
James.
me load up my favorite webpage to explain Setsubun.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Okay.
You've got a webpage?
My favorite webpage to explain Setsubun is if you remember every year, I go and find that Mortal Kombat page made by a Japanese fan where he draws a fan art of all the Mortal Kombat characters, and it's like extremely like Western, like heavy metal magazine style art. It's like the total opposite of anime bullshit. And he has these pages where he explains Japanese culture and holidays, especially if it shows up in Mortal Kombat for whatever reason. And dude, this website is fucking magical.
Setsubun is in Mortal Kombat?
I don't think so, maybe, but there's a page explaining it. Yeah, all right, I found it. I'm gonna link it up on Twitter.
We didn't talk about Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh yeah, it's coming out on Switch.
Yeah.
Coming out on Switch, and they even talked about like possibility of crossplay, which might come down the line in the future.
Yeah.
But not doing it just right now, but maybe in the future.
All
which
right.
is kind of crazy.
Right.
But
So, yeah, let's talk about some old Setsubun. I think we've all experienced it here in Japan at least once, right?
Oh yeah.
I've had beans thrown at me, but I can't remember if it was Setsubun or not.
Yeah. So if you'll steer over to my Twitter, you'll see the tweet I made seconds ago. Where
so what is Setsubun? Somebody needs to quickly explain it. Danny, go.
So Setsubun is the holiday where demons visit your house and you gotta actually fight them off with soybeans, like roasted soybeans. And you throw them at them and they leave your house. And when they leave, you have good luck. If they stay there, then you're screwed for the entire year.
You've got demons in your house and they won't go away.
Yeah.
let me read you the explanation from this website. Setsubun is the event in which scatter beans and oni is expelled. Oni means a calamity here. It is wished the calamity is paid and this year becomes fortunate.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Right?
It gives me really great images of like Calamity Ganon from Breath of the Wild, like trying to into your house.
As told by
all the beans.
Chibi Scorpion here.
Actually,
in Japan, the animal is hit to the all directions angle.
Right. Obviously.
I like how it's Setubun too.
Yeah, I mean that's just one way to
I know.
romanize Japanese. I'm not going to give anybody guff for that.
I know, I'm just kind of kidding.
I am.
I mean, all the other stuff though, that's fair game.
Sure.
So yeah, Japanese people are very superstitious, even though they say they're not.
Right? Knock on wood.
They're a little stitious. I mean,
You ask a Japanese person are they superstitious, they say no. They said, do you whistle after midnight? And they go, no, I wouldn't do that. Spiders are going to come in my house. You're like, okay then.
That's
not
just
superstitious at all.
That's just common sense.
I thought it was burglars.
I thought it was snakes.
I thought it
Generally
was,
just don't whistle after night.
Nobody
Someone's gonna come in.
knows.
I thought it was ghosts.
Those two.
Or as you're about to cut your nails at nighttime. You're like, no, you can't cut your nails. It's midnight. Have to wait until morning. Again, not superstitious at all, right?
No. Like I said, a little stitious, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
This holiday is the best because you get to throw shit. Let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I've only got to eat some little kind of roasted soybeans that had a little picture of a little ogre/demon on it, and they were delicious. That's been the extent of my Setsubun over like the past 9
There's
years.
a game called Oni, isn't there? Like a beat 'em up.
That was a Street Fighter character called Oni.
Yeah. And
Does he look like one?
Yeah, he got the stupid little horns. And the
Yeah,
big
and
stupid teeth.
And some fighting game wise guys are definitely gonna tweet a picture of Cody throwing rocks at him.
So what day is Setsubun? Is it February 3rd?
Third, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, February 3rd, right? So yeah, it's not a national holiday.
No,
it's just
it's just a regular day.
just a regular day.
Kind of like a cultural type of a day.
I believe it's actually just the end of winter, and it's just like it's just like the end of winter, but they just make a kind of event out of it. So there'll be some festivals and stuff like that. Some places, not everywhere.
Yeah, I've been to a few places where they set up like a big stall somewhere in the center of the city, and the Oni will be on that for kids to throw stones and beans.
Stones?
Well, you know, might
Beans,
run out of
stone.
seeds. There's always stones around.
Yeah, I mean, these big ones, like baseballs. Boom.
There's one prefecture that does it really crazy, like where they actually sneak into your house dressed as Oni and scare the kids, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
you-
something.
I've forgotten which prefecture that is.
Yeah.
Those people at home, it's one of the northern ones. But
Yeah.
I think it might be Akita. But if you watch it, it's anyone listening to this at home, go watch those videos because it's so goddamn funny. Like
I was about to suggest this would be like the best thing to see on YouTube, and apparently it's up there.
They dress up in these like kind of dodgy costumes where it's just made of straw and they wear a mask, and but the kids are like terrified and they're screaming and crying and
that's
the
a good thing.
parents are like trying to explain to them. It's like, no, just throw the seeds and they'll go away, or the beans.
And like they're basically the guys that are dressed up as the Oni, they're basically trying to be like, you better be a good kid or we're gonna come back again and get you. Right. You know, kind of like stuff like that. So it's all kind of like done in good fun and just
it's all fun and good. Yeah, it's fine. The kids are
come in the middle of the fucking night to your house, you know, just fucking snatch you up out of bed. It's all good fun.
Kids never sleep ever again in their whole lives, but you know, whatever.
Don't see the problem here.
Yeah, it's usually like men from the village, so it's not even like men that they might know. You know,
they don't hire in professional Oni to scare the kids.
Yeah,
so like a couple of guys from the village, and they'll just go around, you know, scaring all the kids. But scaring kids and making them cry is actually kind of like a well-known tradition here, because there's another one which is nothing to do with Setsubun, but have you had the one about the sumo wrestlers? Like they'll have a festival, and then like a couple of sumo wrestlers will come to the festival, and then all the families will bring their babies and like give them to the sumo wrestler, and he'll hold the baby, and if the baby cries, it's good. That means
eats them.
Yeah, and then he eats it for lunch. That means like the kid is strong or something like that. But if the baby's fine, then you know that's and it doesn't cry. That's a bad thing.
Baby.
Yeah,
that's a baby you dress up for Setsubun.
So it seems like Japanese people are very, you know, concerned about making their kids cry.
I just found a video of this kid is scared shitless.
Yeah.
I'll try to post some of these on the Famicast article page. So if you're watching live right now, well, you can just do Google search and maybe find it. If you're listening to the audio version, check out famicast.com, and hopefully I'll have something linked up there for you.
So yeah, you can pretty much buy
having a good time.
Yeah,
you can pretty much buy these boxes of dried soybeans. You can eat them, but you're supposed to throw them.
It's a nice low-calorie snack.
Oh yeah.
If any of you listening, if you can think of any, if you know of any games where Setsubun has come up, list them in the comments, because I can remember a few times I've seen Setsubun in games. I can't quite remember where I've seen it though.
Goemon, Mystical Ninja.
Yeah.
Seems possible.
Probably. I was just trying to think of the most Japanese game ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we throw our beans at our dog. We make him the Oni.
Joby?
Because he just eats them. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a good idea. Good call.
Yeah, he loves it. It's his best day of the year. None of the beans actually hit him because he catches it in his mouth before it even gets near him. So he loves it.
Good dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12 out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Holy shit, this kid is throwing beans like his life depends on it.
He's loading them into a gun and firing them.
It's kind of like the scene in the war movie where the guy like just screams and like blind fires everywhere.
It's basically that scene in Terminator, or not, in Predator, where they're firing into the jungle.
Oh,
Kids
yeah.
That's right.
Nice.
Oh no, the demon is not going away. They lied to him.
Right.
Eat
Well,
beans.
yeah.
Now he's picking up the beads like desperately. He needs some more ammo.
Yeah. Well, be sure to check out some of these
He needs
videos
more
that
ammo.
All right,
type,
I'm
be
gonna
sure
say
to send these. Be sure to send these to me or put them on your Twitter or something, and we'll put them in the article for the show too.
Oh, we haven't said what you're supposed to say, right? It's
Oh.
is it Oni wa soto, fuku wa uchi.
Mhm.
That's the thing.
Oni
That's the
out,
thing you're
good
supposed
luck
to
in.
chant. Yeah, that's right. You're supposed to chant that as you load your bean firing machine gun and fire it at the Oni.
Exactly.
excuse me, it's a mean bean machine.
Right.
Got to bring Sonic back in here somewhere.
Yeah.
God.
Best-selling game of 2018.
Yes,
Dr. Robotnik's mean bean machine.
that's right.
Right then. Let's move on to some feedback.
Yep. So if you want to have your feedback read out here on the air, you can email us at thefamicast@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter at @thefamicast. You can hit us up on Facebook at @thefamicast. You can check us out right here on YouTube. Leave a comment, whatever, and you will have a chance to get your comment or question or complaint read out in the air like these guys.
Woo.
So our first little bit of feedback here comes from Brian, aka Japanese Nintendo. This came via Twitter. So he said, question for the next Famicast is Super Mario Bros. Actually, Super Mario Brothers and Daidanto Smash Bros. Brothers. Or do Japanese use bros, BROS, dot, like in the West? Hope this makes sense.
It's kind of like Pokemon, because in the West, Pokemon is just written as Pokemon, but in Japan they write Pokemon and then under it they write Pocket Monsters.
Exactly.
They write the full word out. The thing is, a lot of the abbreviations that we use, Japanese people can't read them as we read them. So they would just say brosu or something like that. They wouldn't understand what brosu means.
Yeah,
so
plus you're not actually supposed to read it bros. You're supposed to read it as brothers because it's abbreviation.
But that abbreviation is unknown in Japan, so they have to write the full word out in katakana for people to make sense of it.
Yeah, I double checked too just to see if there was any instances where bros was put in like katakana or anything, but from everything that I was looking at in the whole Mario series, like in Japanese, none of that.
Yeah, they always write brothers in katakana.
Exactly. So it's
game. Let me check it out.
Yeah, well, keep looking if you find it. But everything that I've looked at, it's in katakana as brothers.
Right. Oh yeah, the one I was thinking of is also brothers in Japan. So.
Yeah.
And inversely, when Japanese people write W, they just expect Western people to understand it means double.
Yeah. I was so confused the first time. I was like at a bar.
Years to figure that out.
Oh, I know. I was at a bar and they had a W cheeseburger, and I was like, "What the hell does that mean?"
Wagyu beef.
Yeah.
LOL burger.
Yeah.
Right. God. Japanese people also don't know when you put your fingers out to make quotes. That completely baffles them.
Oh yeah.
Don't do that in Japan.
I teach that in my classes.
I'm like, that's a really good idea, man.
Damn it.
And they're like, oh yeah, it's a good idea. Okay.
One of the teachers I worked with, he did teach the quotation marks thing, but he only taught it to mean you are literally quoting someone.
Yeah, I'd seen that too. I was like,
so the connotation of I totally mean what I'm saying was lost on them, and I was just at that point I'd given up. I never corrected them.
To be or not to be, that is the question.
That's what we all do, don't we?
Wait, so that's not the question? Oh, that is the question.
God.
We could start a whole debate on that.
Yeah.
So, Brian, I hope that answers your question.
Yep. Yeah. So, next up from our good old buddy Chariot Goblin right here on YouTube. He just had
the username.
Yeah, he just had a couple of comments here from the last episode. And James reading negative comments in a Russian voice is always hilarious. You won't get that on RFN. Keep up the good podcast.
Actually, it's not actually a Russian voice. When I'm reading negative comments out, it's more like my forumer's voice. When I read like negative things, it's like how I imagine nerds in their basement talk. If I was doing a Russian voice, it'd be like, my name Boris. Let's play video game, drink vodka. It's not that. It's more
video
like
game. Or I'm getting confused.
Yeah, I'm more like saying, like all of your videos are garbage. It's more like that.
So like a goblin, if you will.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. That's right. Why James read a negative comment in the Russian voice? That's how I would say it.
Right.
And Russian goblin.
Yeah, and Chariot Goblin also said it's funny, and James, you actually did this in this episode as well.
Yeah,
but he says it's funny that James is annoyed by 3DS support in 2019. In the past, Nintendo's been criticized of not supporting hardware after new hardware hits, especially with the GBA.
That's true. That's true, and then probably I have complained about that as well.
Oh no, you did. You did it today.
No. I mean, I've also complained that that Nintendo dropped support
drop old
too
consoles.
quickly.
Yeah.
I think I said that about the Wii. I couldn't believe how quickly Nintendo dropped the Wii. The most is it the most? Is it second to PS2? I can't remember. Is PS2 first, Wii second? I can't remember now.
I don't remember. I know it's really damn close.
But it's up there as like literally the best-selling console of all time, or second most, and they just dropped it like a stone for the Wii U of all consoles. Brilliant.
Right.
Like the reason why the PS2 probably sold more is that Sony just kept supporting it.
Well,
PS2.
I think it's good that they're still supporting the 3DS because it's kind of unique among the current-ish Nintendo systems in the sense that it's the only one worth owning.
Yeah.
It's also probably going to be their last, like dual screen kind of console as well, right? Like that kind of tough, you can throw it in the bag and it won't get damaged kind of one.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess it's not for me, but I guess I should be happy that other people are enjoying the 3DS, maybe kids or whatever.
It's easy to pirate games on it.
And you can get it for like whatever, $99 now or whatever, right? Probably not in Japan, but
whatever.
Outside of Japan, it's very cheap.
Moving on here with the comments, we got one from Aaron via Twitter. This is Aaron Brown. He's one of our patrons, and we sent out all of our patrons postcards, like basically New Year's postcards, and kind of like thank yous for supporting us and stuff. And he just sent out a little nice message. Hey, thanks for the postcard. And I think we got several other messages from several other
Novocaine as well, and Ryan Madolo. They all sent like pictures of their postcards.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
but they're saying thank you to us, but the whole point is the postcard is a thank you to them for being patrons.
Right.
And so thank you for being patrons. You're awesome.
The Japanese tradition, by the way, is send out postcards on New Year's.
Yep.
There you go.
So I haven't done it yet. So I haven't done it.
You still haven't done it?
After this year, no. Got a little behind. Got a little caught up in some stuff.
What about your wife? She didn't do it.
No.
Oh, okay.
And the last little bit of mail we have here comes from Mark in Deeping in the United Kingdom. And he says, Dear Famicast crew, a few questions. Which game or games from the Wii U era would you most like to see on the Switch? Spoiler, the correct answer is Pikmin 3. Honorable mentions include Super Mario Galaxy and Skyward Sword.
Let's answer that one first then.
Yeah.
Wii/Wii U era. Well, my answer of the forever is obviously Super Mario Maker. That's the Wii U game that needs to be on Switch.
Right.
And every day that Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, is out is an insult to the good name of Super Mario. It needs to be Mario Maker. All that shit. For Wii, not sure about Wii. Do we need any Wii games ported over?
I have one.
Okay.
Old Wii, original Wii.
Not original. Well, depends if you call it original Wii or not. But
Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
I would buy Resident Evil 4 for the umpteenth thousandth time.
Okay.
It's like if it had the Wii style motion controls.
That is coming to Switch. I'm not sure about the controls, though, right?
Yeah, it's got to have the controls.
I bet they will, Ty. Because they did what the heck, Revelations and stuff, and those had some kind of motion controls.
Yeah. That's true.
I fucking hate the Wii and I hate the Wii motion controls, but that game was so good on Wii. It was perfect for motion controls.
Resident Evil 7 also has those kind of controls as well.
Oh wow, really?
Like Resident Evil 4 is such a good game that Capcom can sell over and over and over again.
And they have.
Yeah.
I remember my first TGS I ever went to, it was like got some kind of like stupid Gattaca, like a flip phone version of Resident Evil 4.
Oh, right.
It looked like shit, but it was Resident Evil 4 on a freaking cell phone before smartphones.
And when was the last time they came out with a WarioWare game?
Yeah, well, 3DS.
One on 3DS.
Gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
I actually like WarioWare on Wii.
Yeah.
For a wild card answer, I'm just gonna say Castlevania Judgment.
Okay.
Good game, right?
Yeah, I think.
Game question mark.
Yeah, for Wii, I'd like to see just a kind of a revamped Skyward Sword. We've talked about it before. I don't think at this point I can go back and play through a whole Zelda game on my Wii. I just don't think I can do that.
Well, according to Al Numa, it's happening.
Right. Yeah,
mark.
exactly. So I'm in for a good time. And then yeah, Mario Maker. It's gonna happen. I think it has to happen. Cyrus, what do you think, man?
I could do with Skyward Sword. I skipped out on that one, and I liked, again, they tried something a little different, which I'm always down for in long-running series, so I want to try that one. And Tetsunoko vs. Capcom.
Ooh, yeah.
For that.
Oh yeah, I forget
That game deserved better than being just dying on the Wii.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, by the way, you can emulate that on a really low spec PC. With like,
Been there, done that. It's worth
really,
it.
yo, there was some tournament where some guy had like 4 monitors hooked up to one PC, and he was emulating 4 instances on the same box, and like you could just go up and play that shit. It was so good.
Run an entire tournament of like several setups off one laptop.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Also, all the Disney Infinities, bring them back.
Yes.
oh, yeah.
The Wii versions.
Never gonna happen.
Put them. Let me not have to take my Wii U out of the closet every time I want to play Disney Infinity.
Exactly. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for
Next
feedback today.
Mark's got more questions.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Sorry. Jeez.
Yeah,
so-
really interesting ones. I can't wait to answer.
Yep,
Sorry, Mark.
Continuing on, life in Japan. Has there ever been a time when you've seen a foreigner struggling to communicate with a local person and you've taken it upon yourself to intervene and help out?
No, I just stand to the side and laugh mockingly at them.
I actually had one funny one with this. Was I was in the airport at some point. I can't remember, and there was this American military guy was standing there, and he had like a really thick Southern American accent.
Oh.
And then there was a Japanese lady, and she could speak perfect English, but she had a really thick Japanese English accent. And neither of them could understand each other, even though they were both speaking English. So I had to step in between them, and I translated between them from English to English
Brilliant.
to English.
How are you, laddie?
The Irishman had to translate.
Yeah, because I have the teacher voice, where I have a very neutral accent, but being from Europe can understand all of the accents.
What'd you just say?
So I got that man on his way. His luggage had been lost. I told him how to pick up his new luggage, like claim slip from wherever, and he was like, "Thanks, Dad," whatever slang. And she was like,
I actually had that with my wife when we went back to the UK. Quite a long time ago now, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. Because I'm at the time my family was living in the northeast of England, which is like Geordie land, which only Cyrus will understand that, but. Like Geordie is like possibly one of the most difficult to understand accents outside of like broad Scottish or something like that. And so like we went to one of our family friends' house, and she was talking in this like unbelievably thick Geordie accent. And my wife's English is perfect, it's like impeccable, and she couldn't understand a word she was saying. So I had to translate Geordie to English for my wife to understand, and vice versa. So that was fun. So yeah, it happens. But as for the like helping foreigners, I mean, I find that foreigners don't really like getting help from other foreigners, especially white people. White people are the fucking worst in Japan. Let me tell you.
Like, told.
Like, I mean, like if another white person, I see another white person in my town, they will look the other way. They will not even make eye contact.
Right.
It's very, very weird. I think black guys, they don't have that problem. They just like, they nod, they make eye contact.
Yeah,
and,
the guy did not. Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably going to become friends, within a few minutes. Doesn't happen with white people. They do they look the other way,
Seems
so
like
they
the
actually get annoyed if you
closer
try and help them.
the closer you get into like Tokyo area, and I mean, James, you're in a more densely populated area than me or Ty.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's a big thing. Foreigners just tend to ignore each other.
It's true.
Yeah, or you just like, oh, that guy's a fucking tourist. I'm not gonna fucking get within 10 feet of that guy.
Oh, by the way, you should all be following the Rising Wasabi on Twitter.
This foreigner in my Japan.
Which is a great like parody. It's kind of like The Onion, but for like Japanese stuff.
Yeah,
you'll find lots of stuff like this on there. It's great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think
I have tried. The answer is I have tried. I have tried to help people who look lost or whatever, and they just kind of like brush me off. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." Yeah, okay.
For me, anytime I see some foreigner in my town that just doesn't look like they know what's going on or something, I'll say something. But I mean, I typically don't go out of my way too far out of my way to do that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you don't know how some people react. Are like, I don't need any fucking help, or something like that. Okay.
They might not say that, but their face will say that.
Yeah. So
right. Let's see. I had a guy come up to me for help before, but that was at an event. Like, I didn't just go and volunteer help.
Yeah. Oh, he actually asked you?
Yeah. Wow. So where's the thing? I don't get anything. Oh my god, I'm in over my head. I'm like, yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah. But
send him the wrong way on purpose.
There is a time I volunteered help, but it wasn't in a conversation. It was with a map. So okay, over in the I'm pretty sure it's the station closest to the Tokyo Dome. I forget what it's called.
Suidabashi?
Yeah, maybe. So I was there for some unrelated business or other, and there's a fucking sign in front of the station, and it's oriented like completely awful. Like north is like down and right,
right.
But that's not even. It's not oriented the way you're looking either, so it makes no sense.
Welcome to Japan.
Yeah,
right.
So I was trying to figure out where to go from that sign, and it took me a little bit. I'm like, wow, this makes no fucking sense. Good thing I have GPS on my amazing fucking phone. So I'm out there taking care of business. I come back, and then there's a foreign couple looking at this map, like, what the fuck? Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I know what's going on here. So I went and volunteered help. I said, hey guys, you doing okay? You need some help? No, I'm like, oh god, what if they're Russian and they don't understand English or something?
Yeah.
But no, they're cool. They're Americans. It's like, oh yeah. So I pointed out that the map was bullshit, and I gave them some directions.
Nice.
Yeah. So
there's a good Rising Wasabi article about like man still stuck in Shinjuku Station after 12 years.
Right.
He's still looking for gate C12.
I have been in that station for literally 3 hours trying to find
right.
a restaurant in one place. And not even an exaggeration, 3 full hours trying to find this place.
Ugh, gross. I would have just gave up.
I was with this girl who was like adamant that we find this one restaurant, and didn't go well.
Yeah. Was it a gimmick cafe that was torn down like 2 years ago?
No, it was there. Like, we did find it eventually, and it was just this bog standard like dessert cafe type thing. But
oh god,
we got there.
I need it for my Instagram.
Right then, Mark finishes up by saying, would any of you be willing to log into my Pokemon Go account and catch a Farfetched for me?
Oh man,
I didn't realize that was the Japan exclusive one.
A what now?
That was like the very first Pokemon I caught, I think. No, I caught Psyduck first.
That's like the duck with like a leek in his mouth, isn't it?
Yeah. There's an old Japanese story of a hungry man finding a duck and the ingredients to cook duck soup in the forest. That's why it's far-fetched.
Okay.
Wow.
Sounds unbelievable to me. Yes. And then PPS, thanks for the postcard. There we go, another postcard getting person. Mark is a Patreon, by the way. Yep. So yeah, thanks for the email, Mark. Good times. Yep. Let's wrap it up, Danny.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for Famicast 142. We're going to go ahead and give you guys our Twitter handles. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. You can follow me at DannyBiv, DANNYBIV. You'll see a lot of stuff. James, where can people find you?
At FamiComplicated on Twitter. Please do understand.
Okay. And Ty?
Super Cat Drugs. You can find that tweet I made about Setsubun. Check it out.
Okay. And Cyrus?
You can find me at Celsi, where, I don't know, I'm probably still just retweeting stuff. Who uses Twitter?
Right, right. Well, thank you out there for listening to the show. If you've been listening live and commenting and stuff like that, thank you for that. We appreciate that.
But before we're too far along here, regarding feedback, I tweeted the list of games I felt were mandatory to play.
Saw that.
And I got a few replies.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. One guy said he was only missing Quake 3, which I find very impressive.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was going to say something like, I don't want to look like a scrub. I mean, I already do, but, whatever.
Yeah, and there's I got a lot of friends that are playing Fallout 1 now.
Well,
so check that out. There's no DRM in that game, hint, hint.
Nice.
Or, you can buy legit off, GOG for, $1 or some shit.
Right. Cool.
Save my pennies.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's going to do it for the episode. Again, thank you all out there for listening. Thank you guys for joining me, and we will catch you next time. See you later.
Peace out.
Lights.
Peace out.